And we're back again with another episode of Filmjet.
Yes, sir.
we got we got a highly anticipated episode this week. Um what's it called? We're talking this week about Euphoria, season 1 and 2. Um I don't know, man. A lot went on in this show. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
we
this is a
actually got we
crazy
actually have a lot
show.
to talk about.
Yeah, this is a crazy show. Um, Crazy people. I mean, definitely not a show for children. Well, it is HBO. Um, so overall, did you like the show, or how do you feel about the show overall?
Um Overall, you know what? Like the show's not bad. It's not a bad show. I do think that uh I do think that at times the show is way better. The the show definitely has very high highs. And it doesn't and the lows don't drop that low. So I would say like it's a pretty good show still.
Hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, yeah, I feel the same. I think season one was better than season two.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
I think season two they didn't really know what they wanted to do or where they wanted to go. Um, but a lot of times, yeah, with shows, not everything is
Right.
meant to run, 4, 5, 6 seasons. A lot of times they give you that one and then that's it. But I still don't think season two was bad. I mean, if I had to give it a rating, I would say season one was like a 8 or 8.5 out of 10, and then season two was like a 7. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
really anything that I really didn't like. It just wasn't as great as the first one. But you know what's crazy is that the viewership jumped up so high. I think they said it jumped up 100% from season one.
Really?
Yeah, and if you're on social media, you definitely see it because I remember when season one dropped, I watched it not long after it came out. Like after all the episodes aired in 2019, I started watching it because I never really seen Zendaya act in anything that was serious. I think the only thing I really seen her in was Spider-Man. I remember her from the Disney days, but I never really watched those shows, but I just kind of knew who she was
Yeah.
from Shake It Up. Um, but yeah, I never really seen her in anything besides Spider-Man, so I was like, okay, let me check out this show called Euphoria. I didn't really know what it was about. I mean, I assumed it was about that it had something to do with drugs because it was called Euphoria. I mean,
Mhm.
that's pretty obvious, um, but yeah, then when I started watching it, I was just hooked. I mean, this is one of the last shows that I really binge watch because
Yeah, yeah,
nowadays I
yeah,
don't
me
I don't
too.
really binge anything anymore. But when I watched Euphoria season one, I probably watched it all in like 2 days. I mean, I was just because I don't even remember what was going on. If it was a
Yo, it was a
weekend
lot
or
going on in
what.
the first season.
Yeah, but I watched it all so fast because I was just hooked. Like every episode just made me want to watch the next one. And it wasn't that many people talking about it. Like people that were into the shows and the movies or whatever, yeah, like knew about it. But it seemed like I was one of the only people that watched it. There was a few people I know, but it wasn't that many people that actually watched it. But then when season two came out, there was
Everybody was
people
on
literally like live tweeting it when
it.
the episodes were dropped. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It
Like
was like the freaking Super Bowl or something, or NBA Finals, but on TV. Like the last time I remember a show being like that was when Game of Thrones season 8 came out. Like, and everybody was just talking about it every single week.
right.
But yeah, yeah, like I said, I definitely like season one better. But season two wasn't bad. I hope they can get it back to that higher level for season three because we know it's coming with the way the views jumped up. They definitely doing season three. So
I
yeah.
I think I think well yeah, I agree with you about season one being better. I also the whole thing with like the viewership, I didn't watch season one when it first came out. I um I just started watching Euphoria like when when season two was already out when I got in season one. So by the time I caught up,
Really?
they were probably on like episode three of season two, and so I watched it all the way through. Um, I probably shouldn't have, but honestly, the story in season one was just so good. It was just so good that I was like, yeah, I gotta keep watching this. Um, I felt like the structure, the show structure, the story, and the characters were all more interesting in season one than they were in season two.
Yeah.
I felt like in season two, like all the characters just became like significantly more problematic, and it was like there's no way that any of this is gonna get resolved by the end of the season, which was surprisingly um oh yeah, spoilers. We gotta talk about
Yeah,
spoilers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Spoilers,
are
if you
we are
haven't watched,
as usual, we are spoiling everything. So
yeah, if you haven't watched Euphoria, then I wouldn't listen to this podcast.
yeah,
Like, go
so
watch Euphoria and
freaking
come
yeah,
back.
watch it and then come back, cause
But yeah, like I didn't really expect Rue to be sober by the end of this season. The way the way things were looking like toward the middle of the season, I was like, yeah, there's no way she's coming back from this. But then there were a few like very captivating moments in season two still though. Like
hmm
I I think the most I think my favorite episode was the intervention.
really,
Yeah, the intervention with her family, and then she realized uh that Dominic and Jules were in the living room.
hmm
Yeah, I thought that was like the most interesting episode to me. At least the first half of the episode was like, yeah, this is probably the best. This is probably like top two scenes in the season. But oh yeah, I thought that like all the characters like going back to the characters in season one, the way that each episode was broken down, and mainly about like one character, I thought that that was really helpful in kind of like setting like the tone of each character and like what is going on in their lives and like how their history has like affected them so much. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Like
definitely,
it's like each character is like pretty much being haunted by their past and it's having like a negative effect on their present and their future, and that's what it's trying to what the show is doing is it's trying to highlight that from all these different angles because everybody in season one that had their own story, it was like a unique take on like past trauma and how that's affecting like their lives now.
yeah,
So I thought that was really cool.
yeah. Now that I think about it, everybody did kind of have something like that, like you said, like something from the past, whether it was a family members, you know, doing or something that happened to them. Yeah, like
Right.
every single character, at least the main ones, pretty much has something like that. But
And
yeah,
then
no, go ahead.
this is the last thing I was gonna say. Uh Fez didn't have an episode in season one. So what they did was they put his episode in the first they they put the episode about him or his backstory in the first episode of season two. And I think that's why I like that episode so much. Because it was low key following the same structure as season one was. Uh, and I feel like that helped to kick the show off in season two to a really good start. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite episode of season two. And like you said, I think that's also my biggest complaint is the structure of season two.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely the main thing that I don't like. It kind of just the show kind of seemed all over the place, and they kind of seemed like they didn't know what to do with certain people. Um,
right.
yeah, I think mainly Cat. I mean, I don't know. Cat just seemed kind of yeah, like they didn't really know what to do with her.
In season two, right?
Yeah, in season two,
Yeah,
like it seemed like at the end of season one, she kind of went through her little phase and then came out of it, and then but I guess I'm saying this, but there's an argument for for Kat's character actually being fine because I mean, yeah, she's still dealing with those, I guess, that same like internal struggle of being confident and that whole deal.
I I felt like Kat's character in season two wasn't really like as in the mix
Hmm.
as she was in season one. Even though in season one, like she was very to herself, but in season one she was very to herself, but she was like in the mix still. Especially in the scenes where she was with Maddie and Cassie and everything. Like she had a lot to say. Um,
Hmm.
especially because like there were some moments of season one where where they were really making her the enemy. Um, because like she was struggling with like confidence so much that um she was really trying to be better than like Maddie and Cassie and stuff.
Yeah, she was like going
So
overboard with it.
right. So that's what I thought was interesting about her character. And then we didn't really get much of that in season two. And I feel like that's partially because of because of her relationship, you know?
Hmm.
Like I don't know. Her all right, so I just feel like the whole like relationship story um the way they played it in season 2 for Kat, it kind of made her character a little bit boring, right?
Hmm.
Um and I feel like it didn't have to be that way. Like they could have made it um they could have definitely made like a better story and then a more like reasonable um like a better reason to why the two characters broke up because it was that breakup scene with her and what's his name, Ethan.
Yeah,
That's his name, right? Yeah,
I
the
think
breakup
so.
scene with her and Ethan was like I was like, yeah, this scene sucks because this scene sucks because it's like you can tell that like Kat um doesn't really want to break up with him, and then it was just like a whole bunch of gaslighting. Um,
Hmm.
and then it ended up uh I don't know the exchange was just so it was just so forced and like Ethan could tell and I don't know it was like it was just like very like annoying the the way they wrote the character it almost seemed like because the relationship was going so well
Right, like they just
she
needed
felt
a reason to screw it up.
yeah but like what they did with her character is that like her relationship was going so well, and they made her seem like she was unhappy because of it.
Hmm.
Um, and like because all her friends are going through like toxic relationships, and like she kind of wanted to fit in with that again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it was like a kind of it kind of was like a another like fitting in story for her, but I feel like they played it wrong. Like they could have done a better job with um with her story, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would like to hear the director's like explanation of it. What's his name? Sam something?
Oh, let me look it up. Uh, Sam Levinson.
Yeah, Sam Levinson. Yeah, I would like to hear his explanation of that, honestly. Like out of everything that happened, I would like to hear his explanation of that part the most. But one thing I did like was that part about the when she was in the room and she had that vision of basically everyone saying like love yourself and be happy,
I forgot about that.
and it was just like it was like a representation of like every type of social media girl like on Instagram or something. And then the part
Right, right.
with the Dothraki, I thought that was hilarious. Where the fake Khal Drogo killed her boyfriend. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Hmm. Um. No, yeah, that was an interesting scene. Um, the way you broke it down, like it makes more sense now. I didn't really know what it was, but now that you say like different social media girls, like I get it. Um, because like I don't know, Kat was like she was just more of like a cam girl, and I
Yeah,
guess like she was she was feeling like a bit weird about it, um, at times, and like it was kind of stressing her out. So that was probably like the stress that's coming back to her.
yeah. And I could kind of see where she's coming from too, because like a lot of people that be spewing that stuff, it's like you're telling everybody they should just love themselves, but a lot of times these are people who are either, I mean, I guess perceived as perfect or like, people that are really attractive. Like they really just have thousands of followers just because of how they look, right?
Right.
So they really just saying, "Oh, love yourself, this and that." But I mean, you're talking about, teenagers that are kind of going through a lot. They got school, and teenagers worry about a lot of stuff. A lot of times they got a lot of stuff going on, problems from whatever. And it's hard,
Right.
it's hard to tell people like, "Oh, you should just love yourself." But a lot of times it's really that's really just a bunch of nonsense. And then especially coming from Instagram people who are either like really attractive themselves. So yeah, it's easy for you to say, or a lot of times, even if they are really attractive, they be editing their own pictures and using all the filters and this and that,
Right.
like photoshopping their own self. So you could say, well, you don't even love yourself if you're doing all that. But it's just
Exactly.
it's just like this trend that's going on social media that and I think that part was probably another highlight for me
Mm.
in
That's an
season
interesting
two.
point that you brought up.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, Kat's character is probably like my least favorite. Like uh I I thought I thought that she was one of the most interesting characters coming out of season one. So like
Hmm.
um
Yeah, like her story
seeing
was
the way
crazy in season one.
yeah, her story was crazy in season one, and seeing the way like the story just like kind of went like not as interesting in season two. It was kind of disappointing for me, but you know, what I was gonna say is that like one thing that I just realized is that like you know how I said earlier how each episode in season one was really about like the backstory of each character's life and how like their past affected them.
Hmm.
Low key, that's kind of like what that's low key like a culmination of what Lexi's play was about. If you if you really think about it, because like in her play, like she included stuff about like Nate's uh well no she it wasn't like super specific, but like included like a lot of like the gay stuff about like Nate and everything
Hmm.
in the play and how that was kind of like affecting him. And then she also included the funeral for Rue's dad and everything. That
Right,
was like a
right.
big part of the play. So
And
like
that was like another thing too. Like you said, it seemed like every character kind of had their own episode in season one, and
yeah,
then Lexi never really got that treatment, and the play was like her time to shine.
you know what? Lexi did get an episode. It was very brief though. It wasn't like the whole length of an episode.
Hmm.
But it was more about how the relationship with her dad really like messed her up early on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was more about that, and that was cool because that was like kind of like realistic. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I can see that, but yeah, I what you said does make sense though. Like the way like Lexi uh um made the play about everybody else because like she didn't really have the same story that everybody else did.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because the way she like put it, it was kind of like she was almost jealous that she wasn't going through the same uh kind of issues as Cassie was and
Hmm.
everything. You know, because it was like um uh she was talking about like Cassie's body and everything and how and like the different kind of issues that come with like like having that kind of body, like the kind of attention that you get
Hmm.
and then the kind of like attention you attract and everything. So she was like kind of upset that she wasn't getting that same attention. But then at the same time, like that attention was really affecting Cassie in a negative way because if you look back at like her story in season one, um, all that attention was like really getting to her, and then she really thought that like she had to respond to it all, and then her responding to all that attention was really what um was really what made made everybody paint that negative picture about how she is with guys, you know.
Yeah. You know, and I say overall too, like the play was another highlight to me. I think the play was really what made me have a solid rating for season two because
Oh yeah, the play was
like
dope.
yeah, like in the middle I was kind of just like where's this show going? Like I was kind of
Uh-huh.
nervous. I'm like I don't know what's gonna happen in the finale because I'm like if they don't like if this finale isn't good, I mean like the season is gonna be bad. So yeah, like the play was really there was a lot of funny moments and stuff in there. Um, Ethan was mad funny in the play too when he was
Yo,
playing,
Ethan was mad funny.
when he was playing Lexi and Cassie mom. And I gotta say too, as a former football player and a freaking like crazy fan of the game, like the football part was mad funny. Like like that part was funny.
No, the play did have its moments. Like I thought the play was really cool. Really well put together. Like the set and everything. I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Lexi really did like a really good job. Everybody was tweeting about the play, like it was like a real life play too,
Yeah, yeah, I
which
know,
is
right?
actually funny. They're like Lexi's play was so good, like it needs to be on Broadway. I'm just like, bro, like yeah, this is not. There's no way that they can put this play on Broadway. But yeah, we gotta talk about uh, well, yeah, I wanted to get around to like Nate and like his dad and everything, but I want to talk about Rue first and everything that was going on with her. Especially yeah, like throughout both the seasons because like she's like the main character. It's
Yeah.
everything is like really from her perspective. Um, but what do you think of what do you think about Rue like uh season two versus season one? Like
Um,
what? Yeah.
I think Rue is fine, honestly. Like
Okay.
everything that I didn't really like about season two had to do with everybody else. But if it was just Rue, I think they did Rue fine because the whole addiction thing, um, a lot of people probably don't realize how much it really like takes control of people. And basically, once people get addicted on drugs, like it's impossible to get off. I mean, and you really saw that in the show. I mean, there was times where it looked like it was going up for Rue, and nope. I mean, she just and she even had the outlook like she actually wanted to do drugs, and she didn't even care about how it affected her life and her family's life. Um,
Right.
even down to that elaborate scheme of her even putting herself in danger to get drugs. I mean, this is just the lengths that people go. Like people will destroy relationships with their family, their friends, all just to get drugs. And that really came to like the highest point was, that episode when she was, running in the streets, breaking into people's house, you know, that's what people do when they're on drugs and they run out and can't find anymore. I mean, you see people, they'll pawn away jewelry, they're looking to
Yeah.
sell anything. They'll steal from you. You could be best friends with somebody if they're addict. They will steal from your house. And it's not that they evil people. It's just that when they addicted to a drug, like they really feel like they dying when they going through withdrawal. So they'll
Mm.
really do anything. That's why you see all the crazy videos. Like I'm gonna say it without cursing or saying something obscene, but those crazy videos of people when they record people in the middle of the city and they'll say they'll do anything for $1. You probably know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
that's real. Like you know people would do anything just for a little bit of change, just so they could hopefully scrounge up something to get some drugs to to make the withdrawal go away, and it's really sad. Um, yeah, Rue. I really don't have a problem with anything they did with Ruth's story. I think it was really interesting. Yeah, season one, season two. I just wonder if they're ever gonna make her like, really get right in the show. Did you watch the specials?
I didn't watch the specials. I should
Oh man,
so
yo,
it's
you
funny
gotta watch
because
the
like
specials, bro.
I started one of them. I didn't finish it though.
Yeah, I like the special episodes. I mean, they were kind of self-contained. I mean, the one was just about Rue and she was talking to Ali the whole time, and then the other one was about Jules and she was at therapy the whole time. So it wasn't like a big thing, but it really gave you like a better perspective of each character, and I think the specials were written pretty well, really well. I mean, well, that was kind of what held it up because the whole thing was really like in a room, so the writing is the main part of it. But yeah, like I
Right.
think they really did a good job with the specials. And it was nice to hold you over too because it was like 2 years between, really like three, right? 19, yeah. like 3 years between season 1 and 2. So the specials were nice to like hold you over.
Mm. I didn't watch the specials. I feel like I should have. Um, but by the time I finished season one, season two was already out, so I just and then it just went straight into the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, whatever. But especially because like the way season one ended with like the whole ashtray and mouse situation, it was like, all right, season two is already here, so I kind of want to just see where it's going.
Oh, and
Um,
since you brought up Ashtray, I gotta say, rest in peace. Or did he die?
there,
I don't
did
know. I'm gonna throw a theory out there. I don't think he's dead.
you don't think he's dead?
I don't know. He might not be.
I think he's dead.
I don't know, man. That's
The
all I'm saying. I'm just
the
saying
way
I don't know.
um
I mean, look,
I think he's dead because like the way they shot that scene, like the last time we saw him, it was like the red dot
yeah,
went all the way up to his forehead.
yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, it's done up.
But I will say this: I wouldn't be surprised if he's not dead come season 3.
Mm,
And a lot of people were saying that he's dead because they had to get him off the show because he's getting a bunch of other work. But I'm like, I don't know. Like they haven't scheduled. I don't know, but they don't be
I heard
knowing when they're gonna shoot the other season right after. So it's like, I mean, I don't know.
I I heard somewhere that originally they were supposed to kill off Fez. Like
Hmm.
like they really wanted to kill off Fez like twice actually. Like uh season one they wanted to kill him off and then they didn't.
How they
And
gonna
then
kill off
season
Fez?
yeah, you can't kill off Fez now. He's too good of a character. Um,
Right?
yeah, season one they wanted to kill him off, but they didn't, and then they wrote him into like the whole like Lexi love story and everything. And now I feel like they really can't kill him off after they kill off that ashtray.
You know what's
So it's like,
crazy? Fez probably had the most messed up like family and upbringing, but he's the only one who's like a genuine good person.
right?
Like everybody else is like all screwed up, bro.
Yeah, everyone
Like
else
and they all had
is.
like their parents, whether they was divorced or whatever. Like they all had their parents, like from Rue to Jules, Nate, Maddie, Cassie. Well, Lexi not really, but like everybody, like all of them is all messed up. And
Yeah,
and Fez is like the only one that's like a good person out of all of them.
Jewel, Jewel's story. Now you bring it up, like Jewel's story in season one was like it was kind of sad too, especially with like her mom and
Yeah, yeah,
it was kind of sad like when she was a kid and she went to that facility and then she thought it was just a doctor's appointment
yeah.
and he was like nah something wrong with her and then her mom just admitted her into the institution. I was like wow, that's crazy, that's so crazy that her mom would do that to her. uh so yeah. uh yeah, you're right, like everybody else, like I mean I feel like a lot of them had like some. Well, no, you're right. You're right. Actually, yeah. Fez definitely had the worst like upbringing and everything,
No,
and
his
then
was the
he
worst,
definitely,
bro. This man don't even
yeah.
got no parents, bro.
Well,
This man,
low
first of
key,
all, this man's gangster grandma raised him, and she was out of the picture when this man was like a teenager.
yeah,
He never went to school, bro.
yeah. That's crazy. Dang. But what was it? Oh yeah, yeah. Back to like Rue and everything. I I like what you said about her character. And how like the the development of her character. In terms of like an addict in season two, it was like pretty, accurate because I've seen the pictures of that
Hmm.
before. I don't know if you watched um Snowfall. Have you?
No, no. I might
Oh,
eventually, but I kind of I just didn't feel like watching any more like drug shows because
Any
I
more drug
watched
shows? Yeah.
yeah, because I watched Breaking Bad and I watched Ozark. I'm just like, all right, I'm not about to watch another one that has to do with drugs. But I
No, I
might
hear you.
eventually. I might eventually.
Snowfall is good, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. But there was like this one scene where like one of the main characters is really struggling with an addiction.
Hmm.
He's really struggling with an addiction, and then they're just selling like everything that they have in order
Hmm.
to scrape together money to get like what they want. So like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, um,
And in that
I
moment
was
with
laughing.
Ali, where she like basically like cursed at him, like this
Oh
supposed to
yeah,
be your man's. Like that's just the stuff that they do, and it's not because they really mean it. They just really they just do anything to do drugs, man. It's sad.
yeah. The drugs really got them in like a chokehold. It is
Yeah.
sad. Um. Uh. Next thing I was gonna say is, oh, I was laughing. I was laughing before. Um. When you were talking about Rue. Oh man, why was I laughing?
Oh, cause she was
I was
breaking in
laughing.
people's house.
Yeah, because she was breaking into people's houses, right? And then that whole scene where like she opened the safe and she was under the bed, right? And then well, this is after she stole all the jewelry and the dog was there. The dog didn't do anything. I was like, yo, this scene is so stupid, right? The dog didn't do anything. She stole the jewelry out the bathroom and she went under the bed. And then he went under the bed to get the gun and then he saw her and he screams. Yo,
I
that
mean,
was mad
everybody would
funny.
freak out if you just saw a random person under your bed, bro.
Yeah, that's true. It was funny though. I was crying. Um, but yeah, it was weird. It was weird seeing Rue like the way she was this. So all right, the way she was in season one, right? It was like
Mm,
okay, she was on drugs, but like it never really got that bad. Like once she met Jules, she was really off drugs for the majority of the season, to be honest, in season one.
mhm.
Until the end of the season, and then she ended the season not being clean, right? And then it just spiraled really out of control this season once she met Dominic and was hanging out with Dom all the time.
Mhm.
So
Oh
that
no, not Dom, not Dom.
what?
Bro, that's his real life name. That's the actor's real name.
Oh
You talking
oh
about Elliot.
oh,
This
Elliot,
man
Elliot,
call him Dominic.
my
Dominic
fault,
Fike.
my
It's
fault,
Dominic
Elliot.
Fike. That's his real name. Yeah, Elliot.
Yo, yeah, Elliot, yeah. I called him Dom before in the episode in the pod too. That's
Yeah, I ain't
crazy.
even noticed. That's crazy.
Yeah, Elliot, my fault. Um, yeah, so like, it was she was following it like with the drugs and everything. When she met Elliot, and then uh, it was really sad to see like, especially by like episode five with the intervention. I was just like, yo, like the way she's acting right now is like crazy. She's like, well, there are points where like I get it. It's like you owe, it's like you know that you owe this lady, you owe this lady 10 grand, right? So it's like you're scared, but I feel like what triggered it in that moment was the fact that she didn't have the drugs to uh she didn't have the drugs to help her out at the time. You know what I mean?
She was about to go through withdrawal and her family trying to have an intervention. She like, yo, I'm not trying to hear that. Like it was all that
So
really just coming to a point at the same time.
exactly. That's what that's what made this I think to me that's what made the scene so good because it's like, you have all this stuff like it's like a whole bunch of fear and pain. It was like a whole bunch of fear and pain, and then I thought Zendaya did that scene so well
Yo, she
because
be
like right
acting, bro.
now,
She be
she
acting.
be acting, she be acting because I was like, yo, Zendaya can act. That's because I was like, right now, like what I'm thinking about is how like you owe this lady 10 grand, and she don't seem like she plays, even though like she's a very soft spoken lady, but at the same time um that's scary, right? And second, you're going through a withdrawal right now, and that's what's really that's what's really triggering this tantrum, which is kind of like um weird at the same time because it's like you're more upset at the fact that you can't do your drugs than um and the fact that you don't have them at all to at least like give them back to uh what what's the lady's name? Lori.
Yeah, it was something like that. It
Yeah.
was like Lori or something like that. It was like some middle-aged lady name.
Yeah, so that and then her just taking it out on everybody was just like wow, like this is so
hmm
sad.
Like
Like
she
she
really took it out on Ali, her mom, her sister, Jules, Elliot.
yeah,
Like it was everybody, bro.
I know. And then uh yeah, the way the episode ended, it was like I didn't expect her to go to Lori, but like Fez wouldn't let her in because it was because she tried to take the pills
Yep.
from Fez's grandmother. Addiction is so crazy, bro. Because
Yo,
it be
it'll
having people
make you
do
do
like
anything.
it would have people do the craziest stuff. Yeah, so like the the way like it was portrayed in the show, like it was really I thought it was really well done in the way that uh it was really well done in like any effort to show people like how bad it can really affect somebody and the people around them as well. Because like her addiction was really messing up like lives of, like her mom and her sister too. You know?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other craziest moments of the season two had to be Cal, his episode. I mean,
Yo.
first of all, this
Yeah.
man was tripping, drunk driving, swerving all over the place in that Jeep.
Yeah, that Jeep, bro.
And they had the whole flashback of his like high school years.
Yeah, Cal's character was like I don't know. I still don't really understand his character. Uh well no, actually no, I do understand his character. It was it was his it was the episode where
He just finally was able to go public with his sexuality. That was really it.
yeah.
Like he just got tired of hiding everything and
Oh yeah,
not being himself.
his monologue in the end of the episode was like that was one of the better that was one of the better scenes in the
Oh,
season,
this man
to be
was
honest.
tripping. I don't even know how to say it without cursing, but like this man had his whole
No.
dangalang out, tripping,
Yo, I was like, bruh,
pissing on the
this
floor.
man is violent. Yeah.
Peeing on the floor, just standing there, whole family looking at him like Jesus Christ. And the crazy part about it is like, well, at least Nate's brother, we didn't really see him, but like they really have no place to judge. His mother, Nate, like y'all are both screwed up too. Like,
Yo,
I guess you
the
could
way he
cut
called
Nate
out,
some slack because he was raised by them people, but like the
yeah,
mother, she is terrible, bro.
yeah the mother's terrible. It was like I didn't realize. it until after Cal left, and
Yo,
then it
and
was
she
that
had
one
that talk.
scene
Yeah, she had that
with
talk.
Nate. Yeah, I was like, oh man, low key, the mom is like just as bad,
She's
but
horrible.
like, yeah. So like, yeah, Nate's family not my favorite people. In the show, uh, Nate himself was actually like annoying in this episode too. I mean, in the season two. In season two, I feel like he was more annoying than season one. Uh, he, I don't know. It was like in season one, I felt like he was like a lot more violent, especially with that he um that one guy that he beat up in his apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot more violent in season one, but in season two, like it was just a whole bunch of like teasing violence with Nate, especially with like all the drinking and driving, and then like all the times that you would see him with like a gun in his hand,
Hmm.
and then he didn't really do anything with it until that the episode with Maddie in her bedroom and everything. So
Maybe
I
he got
thought
the violence beat out of him.
oh with in the first episode with Fez. No, but what's it called? Yeah, Nate really. He, I felt I felt like season two, like his character wasn't as interesting as season one. Um, so I have to say, like, I think how do I put this? I feel like some of the more interesting supporting characters in season one weren't really there for the story in season two, uh, as much. So then I feel like that really took away from season two. Like, uh, instead of focusing on instead of focusing on Nate's side of the story and his relationship that he had with Cassie more, and more focused on the way that it affected Cassie since like Maddie was her best friend and the fact that she was like betraying her the whole time, you know, instead of focusing instead of having it focus more on the way that it affected Nate, knowing that Maddie and Cassie were friends.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I think they went with focusing on Cassie more because Nate is already just like a crazy kind of evil dude. Like he's the type of dude that'll do that.
right,
Because just like how he treated Jules, like everybody he kind of come in contact with, he end up like screwing over in some way. So and they also he was like mean to Cassie the whole time too before. So
right.
so it was like a flip and and they also, told us the whole time that Maddie and Cassie were best friends since children. So yeah, I think it made sense for them to really focus on Cassie's side of it. But
Mm.
you want to talk about annoying, bro? She's just a complete idiot. Season two, bro.
Carrie,
Actually,
right?
season one too. She was pretty dumb, but I mean, she's just really dumb. Like that one part when she was like explaining herself to Lexi and her mom, and there's really just like no excuse for anything, and she still is trying to tell herself that what she did was okay.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, it don't matter if they was broken up, for how long they was broken up. Like you don't mess with your partner, like boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it is. Like this your friend, right? Like you
Right.
don't mess with they whatever they got going on.
Especially knowing the history that they have.
Right. And it's like who Nate is too. Like he's just an overall not a good person. So why would you
Yeah.
want to mess with him in the first place, whether he was your friend's, boyfriend or not? But you know, she was just really trying to justify it to the end. It's like, look, come on. There's really no excuse. Like, just own up to it and then move on to the next thing. Like,
Um, yeah, no, you're right. Like, yeah, Cassie, she was annoying
yo, she
in
was
season
so
two. Like,
dumb, bro.
and it was like all those scenes with like uh all those scenes with like the like how stressed he was. Um, with how stressed he was hiding like the secret from Maddie. it was
Yeah, yeah.
it was funny. Like, I think it was like Maddie's birthday party that was at her house, and she threw up in the hot tub. That was like gross. And then I
Yeah,
think like
yeah.
not like after that, um, no, before that actually, yeah, it was like the episode before that. I believe, um, she was like waking up like every day at 4 o'clock to get ready,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, she was
right?
tripping.
Yo, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I hope people like don't really act like this in real life because like I've never
Somebody
seen this
acts like
before.
that in real life. There's somebody out there that acts like that in real life.
Yeah, I know there has to be, especially nowadays. Like I wouldn't put it past anybody, but like I didn't see something like that um in like when we were in high school. But still, there was like that episode, um, and then it was like that one scene when I think it was the same episode when she was in the bathroom, and then they were talking about trying out for the play, right?
Oh, when
Because they
she was
thought the
wearing
play
that
was
crazy outfit, yo, and it
yes,
was like, "Are you trying out for Oklahoma?"
yeah, Oklahoma, right?
It's like, "You trying out for Oklahoma?
And she's like, no. And then she said, why would you say that? That was that was a
But you
funny
look like
scene.
you trying out for Oklahoma."
Yeah, you're trying out for Oklahoma. That's what you dress like. Um, no, but all that stress was like it was like all right. So like the build up was cool, but then after a while, it was just like how how is this gonna end? But like how is Maddie gonna find out, right? Because like we all knew that it was gonna happen eventually, right?
Mhm.
And I was thinking that like she was gonna like cast him in the act something like that, or like something crazy. But then it was that episode. It was the same episode when Rue was running from like her family and everything, and she ended up at Lexi's house. I was just like, oh, that's how they're gonna play it. I mean, I I was fine with it, but like, I was fine with it, but I thought that it was gonna be a little bit juicier than that.
Mhm. But
It's okay though.
that part was crazy too, because it's just like we were saying before, like an addict would do anything to get drugs. Like she was in a situation, she was stuck. Like she was really sure, addict, they'll use any play. Like if it takes telling the deepest, darkest secret to get some chaos going, they'll do it, bro. Like,
Mm, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Rue was just going to any measure.
yeah, like
He
they'll
said, "I have to
expose
get out
some
this house."
family drama and everything.
Yeah. Um, but one thing that I wanted to mention, uh, yeah, I'm like mad stuff you, but one thing that I wanted to mention was the parallel between. Wait, I didn't mention this. I didn't mention this. Yeah, I don't think, but it was the parallel between the end of season one and the end of season two. Because like low key, like we're in the same spot that we were, um, well, with Rue, the main character, like we're kind of in the same spot at the end of the season as we were in season one because um oh wait no actually I shouldn't say that because in the end of season one Rue was like very sad in where she was because Jules left her at the station, right? um
Yeah, I think that
but
Rule in season, like, well, at least going into season 3, is more likely to become clean.
right, exactly, and then at the end of season two like Rue is actually like seemingly doing better in terms of like doing better for her and the people around her.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of that has to do with um I think a lot of that has to do with her realizing that like the people that she had around her during season two, like the combination of Elliot and Jules was like a very toxic combination for her, and that's why like she was doing so many drugs like behind the scenes or like without Jules knowing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I feel like the play. So, all right. So what I'm getting at is that I feel like in season three, I feel like her and Lexi are gonna become friends again. Because you know how like in season one, they talk about like how they were really like best friends,
Yeah, like when they were children.
right? So I think like everything that happened with the play and like those scenes that like um Lexi was playing out in the play, the scenes with her and Rue. I feel like Rue is really realizing like who her real friend has been this whole time.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of predicting her and Lexi to really become like good friends again in season three. And in order for her to do that, like she really had to, you know, she really had to get rid of like the friendship that she had with Jules. Like she had
Hmm.
to just leave it be, and then the friendship that she had with Elliot as well.
Right, right. And I think that's probably going to be one of the toughest parts that she's going to have to go through, is like she got to really realize, like you said, you got to get away from these people that aren't good for you. I mean, that's a lesson I think a lot of people had to learn. Sometimes the easy way, sometimes the hard way. Because it's important just in life in general. The people that you're around. You want to be around positive people that got something going for them. You don't want to be around, you know, whether they bums or got drug problems. Like, no, you shouldn't be around those kind of people that really ain't got nothing going on. Whatever type of way it is. So I think that's definitely going to be something that Rue has to confront in season 3. Now I would like to see
Yeah,
that too. That's definitely an angle they could go at it.
yeah. I definitely want to see Rue grow in that way as a character because I feel like um she's definitely the most interesting character on the show.
Hmm.
Um, I I just want to see how they fit in the whole uh Lori situation with her and everything.
Right, right, and that's definitely something that was unresolved from season 2.
Yeah.
So they smart. They left something to explore for season 3.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, we got to see that Lori situation. Um,
I I would say that I kind of prefer that, right? I kind of prefer them. All right, so like the way the story is, like from a storytelling standpoint, right? I kind of prefer them having like an unresolved issue at the end of a season rather than
well, they got to do something to make you watch the next season.
right. But like I kind of prefer that rather than a cliffhanger, you
Well,
know?
that kind of is a cliffhanger.
I mean, but like it's not a cliffhanger in the same way. Like it's not like something that just came in like last minute, right? It's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
that's
yeah,
been
yeah.
there. It's something that's been there for a while, so it's not like it comes as a shock.
Yeah, it's not like in the last episode where like a guy's pointing a gun at the other guy, he's about to shoot him, and then you're like,
Yeah,
oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then the show gets canceled.
right. So
Yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah.
Um, so how'd you feel about McKay basically being written out of the show? And what's her
So,
name? What was that girl's name that was barely in it? That was like
oh,
that's friends with
their friend.
Maddie and Cassie and them.
I don't even know. I don't even know what her name was. She was
Yo,
like in
she
3 scenes.
she probably had like 5 lines out of the whole season. And one of them was just
Yeah.
saying, "No, don't fight her." When Maddie was going after Cassie.
Oh yeah. It was like I think I remember. It was like one. It was like one where she was like uh what you just said, and then it was another one where it was mad funny because like I think Maddie was talking about like if she would be like cute if she was pregnant or whatever, right? And
Hmm.
then she was like, "Remember when I was pregnant?"
Yo,
And Maddie was like, "Oh my god, like let's not go there," something like that. Like that was funny. Um, and then I think it was like one like quick line in like the first episode or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, McKay was in the first episode. Uh, that was kind of awkward. The encounter with him and Nate
yo, that
because
man
like,
was tripping, bro. Yo, I'm not even gonna
bro,
repeat. I'm not even gonna repeat what he was saying.
yeah, it's a
Yo,
lot
this man
of
was
stuff in the show.
tripping.
It's a lot of the stuff in the show that like you can't repeat. If I'm being honest, but
Right, like I'm gonna have
what's
to
it
put
called?
I'm gonna have to put the explicit thing on this podcast if I repeat what they were saying, bro.
Yeah, but what's it called? Nate was definitely tripping
Yo, he was like
in
all
the
up in
first
his
episode.
face. I'm like, yo, like I was getting weirded out watching it. I'm like, yo, this man is
Yeah,
tripping.
I'm like, yo, back up, bro. Yeah, but like McKay, I wasn't the biggest fan of his character in season one either. And I feel like that was like a thing. I feel like people didn't like his character.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I was telling you like before, I like his character to me was only there to Kathy's develop Cassie's character, if
Yeah,
I'm being
yeah.
honest. Because like her character just really needed like uh something to push it forward. Like a constant to push her story forward. And like that's what they really use McKay for
Hmm.
in that sense.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with McKay, but yeah, I mean, he kind of don't really have a place in the show no more because he went to college.
I mean, do you think he'll make a comeback? I think that like
I think it's possible.
if I think it's possible too. I think it could be like interesting. Like if Nate and Cassie continue on, right? Like if they make up or whatever, and they continue.
Right, because did
I
McKay
think
even find out? He didn't even find out that Nate and
yeah, he
Cassie
didn't find out.
was messing with each other. So they could, yeah. So they, if they really want to, they could play with that storyline a little bit. Because that's another one. Like McKay and Nate was boys, so that's another thing they could do. And I think for the future, I really think the next season got to be like a time skip. I really think they gotta put these people in college. So
Mm,
some people got to move away. I mean, some people got to be out of there. And but I think that's definitely a thing they need to do. Like age, put these people in college. I mean, Zendaya like 25 or something like that. She about to be like
mm.
26 by the time this show coming out. Alexa Demi already
Yeah, but
pushing
everybody on
40.
this show is old.
Yeah, like Alexa Demi about to be a freaking grandma up in there, and they got her playing a 17-year-old. Like, you know, so next season definitely got to be in college. I mean, and so they could definitely bring McKay back. Actually give that man an arc. Um,
Yeah, but everybody on the show is old except for Ashtray. Like he's actually is. I feel like he's the only one who's actually his age on the show.
yeah, yeah.
But for everyone else, like they're just like old people playing young people.
Hmm.
But um, oh, do we? What was like your what were your least favorite moments of the show?
Oh
If we didn't already
man,
cover that.
no, we didn't. But
Okay.
least favorite moments. I've got to say, um, I'm trying to think of season one and season two. I do gotta say, one moment I for sure did not like in season two is when this man Elliot was singing a song, bruh.
Yo,
Yo,
yeah,
this man was singing like a 5 minute song, acoustic. I'm
yeah,
just
that song
like,
was forever.
oh my goodness, can you please? They could have cut that in half for real. They could have made it a minute and 30, something like that. Just give us the chorus and then the verse. You don't got to give us chords, verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
Yeah, that song took forever. I didn't. I honestly, I was honestly shocked with how long like the song was.
Yeah,
I was like, this is like so long that it's getting awkward.
yeah, it really
Like
was. Like
not
I'm
even for
just,
me,
I
not
know,
even for
right?
me, but like even like the actors.
I know, right? I know
Yeah,
filming must have been hell, bro.
yo,
Just sitting there watching this man sing a song like, all right now.
yeah.
You gotta act
I
like
was
you
like,
like it. You gotta act like you like it.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, this is weird. That was definitely like one of the weirdest parts of this season. I didn't like it. I didn't like how long they spent on that part because I felt like that a lot of that time could have been contributed to other areas of the finale.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was one of my least favorite parts of the season as well. Um, but another scene that like I didn't like was the scene with Nate and Maddie in Maddie's room when when Nate was trying to get the disc back.
Hmm.
I didn't. It was just so weird to me that like Maddie would, even though like the gun wasn't loaded, but like she thought it was. Like it was just so weird to me how Maddie let Nate pull the trigger on himself multiple times um b- before giving him the disc back. Like I just thought that was so strange.
Yeah, I don't really know
So
what
like
was
that,
going on.
so that scene was like a lot of people were like, "Yo, that scene was so heavy," and this and that. But like honestly, to me, I was just like, "No, that scene was weird."
Yeah, like I really don't know how to feel about that scene.
Yeah, that scene was weird, bro. And that's one of the reasons why like Nate's character was just like so weird to me this season because it was like yeah, like you weren't as violent, but instead you were just doing weird stuff like that. That was just like killing me. I don't
How
know.
do you feel about him sending his dad to jail though?
Um, I definitely think that like after that conversation, well, after watching his episode in season one, and after having that conversation with his mom, when like pretty much she was confirming all the information that Rue was telling us about him, about how like his behavior really changed after like age 12 once he found out his dad was acting weird.
Hmm.
right? Um, and like how that really like messed him up inside, right? Uh, I feel like I don't know. It's weird. You don't really want to send like your parents to jail, but like his dad was really like a weirdo for that, for like the stuff that he was doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I feel like in Nate's heart, like it was something that like he really had to do in order for him to like start healing
yeah. And he
because
was
like his
also really
dad,
angry. So,
yeah.
it's easier to do that when
But
you're angry.
I feel like he was really angry because it's like private stuff like that that you can't really talk to people about. You like you can't like it's stuff like that that's like so like personal that you can't really open up to people about you know that kind of situation. So that's why like it'll make you so angry that uh you can't talk about it. Oh, especially all right. So like uh okay. So I feel like low key Nate would have done it sooner, right? But I think that Rue mentioned something about how Nate was really interested in the family business and making sure that like the name of the family wasn't uh in like bad standing because he wanted to take up the business once his dad couldn't do it anymore. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I feel like uh I feel like had he found a solution earlier on, um had he found a solution sooner of how to like in um of how to send his dad away without like messing up the family name, he would have. But like I feel like there was just no way around it for him, so he just had to take the L.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also he kind of, I think he realized that, yeah, you could have this perfect, where you could make other people have this perfect perception of you, but it doesn't really matter if your actual life is hell, right? And at the same time, his he's now really realizing his whole family is messed up. So why would he even care about that name if that family ain't been nothing but terrible to him?
Mm, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense the way you put that just now. Right. Like he doesn't really care about like I mean the family name attached to the business
Hmm.
because um the family hasn't really he realized that the family hasn't yeah, okay. I see that. Hmm. But yeah, um honestly like I don't really know how to feel about uh about him sending his dad away. All I know is that like his dad would probably never talk to him again. Um, and like Cal honestly was one of the more interesting characters of the show. So
Hmm.
low key, I'm kind of upset. I'm kind of upset that like
He gonna be back.
he might be yeah
He
he'll
gonna be
be
back.
back, but
He probably not even
he's
gonna
gonna be
go
back.
to jail for what he did. Honestly,
Oh, it might be like a
because he could
yeah
say
all
like
right
he, because he could say, well, he didn't know, but I mean, I don't know. He was filming it, so ooh, maybe he is gonna go to jail.
maybe. You think next season it might be like a trial?
Ooh, maybe.
It might be like a little trial because trial is always like interesting in TV.
Yeah.
Um, so that could be cool. Uh, but yeah, what's it called? Talking about Nate. We didn't really talk about. Oh, all right. So, uh, one thing that I want to talk about, right? I want to talk about Maddie real quick,
Yeah,
right?
we didn't really talk about
Because
Maddie.
yeah, we didn't talk about Maddie, but like one thing that I realized about Maddie is that like I feel like the way Nate talked about her in season one and everything, and the way Cassie talked about her, like you would think that Maddie is like so like such like a mean person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like throughout the throughout the two seasons,
She hasn't
like
really
I
done
haven't really
anything mean.
she hasn't done anything mean, and like I feel like I haven't really seen her angry until like it was like one episode the one episode where it was her birthday party and she was mad at Nate, right? Um, briefly because they were broken up, and then toward the end when she found out about Cassie, because like the whole time it's like she was always there for everybody whenever people were having like issues and stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, like Maddie's actually a really cool character in the show. I feel like they're not really. I feel like actually like I kind of like the way they're using her. Like she's like not as angry as they say she is, but like no, everything that she's angry about, like I feel like she has reason to be.
Well, yeah, it's valid.
It,
It's always been valid.
yeah, right. It's always been valid, and then like uh yeah, it's always been valid, and then oh, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Um, right, like all of her like complaints and everything, uh, were like real like complaints, and like it was things that like uh people can actually relate to.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I like Maddie's character for that. I like the way they're doing her character, and I feel like um I feel like she's one of like my favorite characters in the show like so far in terms of like how her arc is going. I I don't really know like where um I don't really know like where her story like really goes from here, especially because well, so like there was one line in the last episode where um she was talking to Cassie and she was like, "This is only the beginning." I don't know if it's the beginning of their beef or if it's the beginning of uh like Cassie now being on the receiving end of like Nate's um uh like the same way that Nate was like treating Maddie.
Hmm.
Like now like Cassie has now Massey now Maddie has like now like passed the torch to Cassie. So now Maddie now Cassie's gonna be receiving all that negative energy from Nate and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I want to. I'm interested in where they're gonna take all their stories because
Yeah,
there isn't really a clear path between a clear path for Nate, Cassie, or Maddie for season three.
right. I I'm thinking about it now. I'm like I'm kind of agreeing with you that like uh the, they should like flash forward with
They do. They need to.
either the characters. It's either that or like next season this might need to be the last season. Like
Yeah,
I think 3 seasons is enough.
yeah. Like it got to end with Rue being clean.
Yeah, and then I feel like I feel like the way like this season went, like I feel like next season might be like Rue struggling like really hard with like temptation and everything, like being tempted to take drugs again.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was some episodes where like in this season, I don't know if it was season 5 or season 6, but like Rue was just like stuck because like the drugs had her down so bad, like that that no, it was episode 6. It had to be when when Rue was about to call Ali to apologize to him, but
Hmm.
she just felt so sick, and she had that Jolly Rancher on the table, and she couldn't even pick it up.
Yeah, she was tripping,
Yo,
tripping.
I was like, bruh, oh man, yeah. But I don't know. I think like now that like we've spoken about it, I'm kind of like excited for like where season 3 will go. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about where season 3 will go.
Yeah, I I don't know if I can say I'm excited. I mean, it's just because at this point I kind of don't really get excited about stuff if it's so far away.
Well, yeah, not excited, but like interested.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
uh, season 3 sounds a lot more interesting to me than it did when season 2 ended. Like when season 2 ended, I was just like, okay, you know. But it got renewed, so I'm just like, okay, like a season 3 might actually not be that bad. Now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, I think I would definitely tune in to season 3. Um, but like I said before, well, I texted before we started recording, I told you I probably won't watch season 3 if they're not in college. I
You
honestly
did say
like,
that.
yeah, like I just like if time doesn't, I don't know. I feel like, and especially with the way these people are getting, how old everyone is Alexa Demi gonna be 35 playing a freaking high schooler? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, so what's the oldest actor you think ever played a high schooler?
Yo, honestly, all right.
Because there's been 30-year-olds
So,
before.
all right. I was shocked, right? Um, when High School Musical came out, right? Uh, the the third one, I think, the actor that played what's his name?
I never saw any of the High School Musical, so I have no idea.
You didn't watch High School Musical?
Hell no. Hell no. There's no way. No way. You couldn't pay me to watch High School Musical.
Bro, you gotta watch High School Musical, bro.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
bro, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch High School
Absolutely
Musical.
not. Nope.
Bro,
No
High School
way.
Musical was literally like peak Disney, peak.
Yo. Well, see that.
Like it
See,
didn't
I never really watched Disney Channel besides like besides like the animated stuff. But like those made for TV movies are all garbage. I'm sorry, garbage.
get. Yo, bro, I didn't like Disney Channel either, right? But I'm telling you, High School Musical was peak Disney.
So
Peak.
you probably like Lemonade Mouth too.
No.
Yo,
No, I didn't like Lemonade. I didn't like, bro.
yo, you
I didn't
like
like
Lemonade
Lemonade
Mouth.
Mouth
You like
or
Lemonade
like
Mouth.
or Camp Rock. None of that.
Oh, you like
It was,
Camp Rock too. See, I never
nah,
watched none of that.
bro,
Never.
bro.
I'm never watching it either. There's nothing you could tell me that's gonna make me watch it, bro.
All
It's
right.
not happening. It's not happening.
Well, what's
It's
it
just
called?
not happening, bro.
In High School Music.
People are gonna be mad at me too for saying that. People always get mad whenever I
Yo,
say like
that's
High
so
School
funny.
Musical. Because you know what? I saw a clip like when it was new, and it was just that song where the dude was like, something get your head in the game, something like that. Yo, I saw that. I was just like, oh hell no, that is just the worst thing I've ever seen. I will never. And this is when I was watching a lot of garbage movies too, but that was just too much for me. It was so corny. I was just like, oh no. And I remember like everybody at school was talking about it and stuff. I was probably the only person that didn't watch it, but I was just like, I don't care. That it just looked so horrible that I was just
But High
like,
School
no.
Musical is lit.
And I was watching a lot of garbage movies back then too, but that was just too much, way too much.
High School Musical is lit. But what I was saying was that Corbin Blue, I forgot what his character's name is, but his his girlfriend on the show in High School Musical, she was 26 at the time of filming.
Oh jeez.
I
Yo,
think the first one.
the dude Dominic Fike is 26 right now.
Really?
Yeah, old as
Oh, he looks
hell.
young.
Yeah, he does look young, but oh, what was that movie that just came out?
Which one?
Oh my goodness. This movie called it's like a musical called Dear Evan Hansen, I think. I think that's what it's called. And it got trashed because I mean it looks trash. I haven't watched it, but it looks pretty bad. And the internet was making fun of it a lot. And the main
Uh,
actor is like 28 years old, right? And they're supposed to be in high school. But the dude looks like he's 35. Like
oh
look
no.
up on your phone, Dear Evan Hansen, and the guy looks like he's freaking 35 years old. Like he looks so old. He looks like a freaking teacher, bro. Like that what was that show where the meme where the guy's like, how do you do, fellow kids? It's like the old man and he's wearing like a backwards cap
Wait,
and a skateboard. That's what he
he
looked like. He looked like that dude saying, how do you do, fellow kids?
Ben
Like, oh
Platt.
my goodness.
His name is Ben Platt.
Yeah.
Ben Platt, and he is 28. Jeez.
Yo, but he looks old too. Like cause a lot of
Yeah.
when you're 28, I mean, you shouldn't be all washed like you're not even 30 yet. That dude looked like he been through something.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slow for Ben Platt.
Yo, and see, now it's like a top. We should do like a whole podcast about actors that are too old to be in high school. Cause, cause I don't know if you
Like,
remember Spider-Man, bro. In the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, mind you, he was like 25 in that first movie. He was already
yeah.
old, but he still looked young, right? Yo, the dude that played Flash Thompson, that dude
Oh,
was like 30, bro. Yo, he looked old.
yeah.
Yo, first
He
of all,
did
that
look
dude was
old.
big as hell, but he was like a man big. He wasn't like a teenager big. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yo, like that man was old as hell. Like, and they gotta stop that, or just make the thing set in college. Like what is it with
Right.
these people? They want to have a high school show, right? But then they don't want nobody to be of age. Like they don't want anybody to be the correct age. Why do you have people that are pushing 30 years old, sometimes plus? Alexa Demi like 33, and they
Yeah, I
playing
know.
high schoolers. Come on, bro. Like she twice the age of a high schooler.
Right. That's crazy. Oh man, I don't get it. It's like there's mad people out there you can cast.
For real. For real.
Yeah.
It's probably got something to do with when you're working with like child actors, people underage. It's probably something to do with that why people never want to cast, minors unless it's like an
Yeah, but
actual
then it's
child
like,
that they need. But it's still
but
it's
then
just
it's like if that's the issue, then why don't why don't you create like age appropriate content?
Right, right. Why don't you just make the show in college, bro? So you could use
Yeah,
adults and it don't look out of place.
exactly.
Because anybody who go to college know it could be a 50-year-old in there. Like you
Yeah,
could have a
it's
class,
like
it's somebody that's gonna be old as hell sometimes. So it don't even look out of place.
it's like this show is like barely is this show is barely for high school students. Like
Well,
if
yeah,
you're
it's
being honest.
HBO too. So it's like, in
Yeah,
HBO, they gotta have their nude shots. I mean,
I know.
it's like it's not even you
It's
can't even
crazy.
call a show HBO if it don't got that.
It's so crazy. Like this show is barely for high school students. I'm just like, or yeah, high school students. I'm just like, yeah, they gotta start create like the next show that they make like this. Like they gotta like it's either make it for it's like really make it about like an actual like high school lifestyle, an actual high school lifestyle for high school students, or just make it for an older audience about college students. Because like
Right,
that's
right.
not that hard. It's like they literally got like what's that show called? Uh on ABC. Oh, they literally got Grownish about college students. More of like a high school age appropriate show than this.
Well, that's because there's network TV too. That's like a freaking,
Yeah,
ABC. It's
yeah,
normal
yeah,
TV.
but still, it's like so that could have been that could have easily been flipped.
Right, right.
Yeah,
No, but I definitely agree. I mean, and HBO is funny too. It's like sometimes HBO will put and it seems like HBO the only place that really be showing male nudity too. Because a lot of times when you see a news scene, whether it's in a movie or a show, like it's like most of the time it's a woman. And then if you do see a male news scene, it's usually their butt. But
right.
on HBO, they be showing I'm not I can't even I can't even say it without saying whatever. But you know what I'm saying. They show the front on HBO.
Hmm.
Sometimes they just be showing it when it's not even needed. Like they just be throwing it in there. I'm like, sometimes I'll be watching stuff. I'm like, really, was that necessary? Freaking HBO, man.
But yeah, I think we pretty much like covered like everything that we wanted to on the show across the 2 seasons.
Yeah, I pretty much say everything I gotta say.
Yeah, me too. Overall, like it's a good show overall to me. I probably on a scale of like on a scale of 1 to 10, I probably give this show in total like a 7,
Yeah, I'll say
which is
overall, I think it was probably like a 7.5, just
yeah,
because season two was kind of down a little bit, but season one was like an 8.5, bro.
yeah. Season one was like so good. The way everything was shot and everything. I like season one to me like by itself, it's probably like a 9.
Yeah, season
I
one was
think.
fire, bro.
Yeah, season one was so good. So, but yeah, season two, like, it was cool. Like, nothing was really wrong with it. But the way that season one just really blew it out the water, I, I, and compared to that, compared to season one, this is definitely like a 7.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, man, that's Euphoria. I'm pretty sure we're gonna like come back to like different topics in the show, uh, um, throughout the pod. Um, because these are like recurring themes that we see like throughout like a lot of shows. Um, so it's definitely something that we can come back to. But Make sure y'all tap into the social media, man. At Filmjet Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Um, Make sure you add us with your questions and send us DMs and interact with the the post.
Facts.
And yeah, like we love to hear from you guys. Uh, Let us know how we're doing and everything, and uh, let us know what you want. Let us know what more you want to hear from us.
Definitely. Tell us. Make it a
Right.
little easier for us. Half the time we be trying to figure out what to talk about because a lot of times we don't watch the same exact stuff. So, tell us what y'all want to hear. I mean, hit us up, like you said, Filmjet Pod, Instagram, Twitter, search Filmjet on YouTube. I mean, we are everywhere. That's
We
it.
are everywhere. Right. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.